is Andrew Knyte speaking. 7/18/2007, the night of Lotus, New Jack Swing Forever, hosted by Barry Michael Cooper and Nelson George. And this is the man right here who brought you Nino Brown, G Money, CMB, Spotlight. 2 other films as well. Roger Ebert loved Sugar Hill. This is the man himself, the individual who coined the term that we celebrate, 20 years, New Jack Swing.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? What's up, Andrew?
How you doing?
How you doing, man?
You know, it's definitely an honor to be talking to you right now.
Man, the feeling is mutual, man. I mean, let me tell you something. I told you earlier, I meant this man right here, Andrew Knyte, is a spearhead for this whole movement. I mean, he believed in it when nobody else did. He revived it when people thought it was dead. And anything that jumps off now, by the grace of God, God used this guy to really, really, really make it happen. So as he says, he's honored to talk to me. I'm more honored to talk to him. You know, more honored to talk to him.
Amazing, amazing. Now, right now, we just got word of an exclusive. That is the Blood on the Walls Digima art film.
Yes, sir.
Is going to be available at
New Jack Swing Forever, NJS4E.com, exclusively. Nowhere else can you see all 18 webisodes. There was a few stories other places, such as the Village Voice and a few other places, but this is the place where you'll be able to see exclusively all 18 webisodes of this film. As a matter of fact, I just came back from the new Filmmaker Summer Series, where it screened here for the first time. It premiered here in New York, got a great reception. The guy who ran the site, Bill Wood, said out of the 3 years that they've been doing the New Filmmakers Festival, that is the best film that they've had thus far. So this is exclusive for you guys, and I'm honored to put it exclusively on NJS4E.com.
And we're very thankful for that. And just so you guys know that if you like Dr. Dre or Corrupt or Eddie Kane from the 5 Heartbeats, you will see all 3 of those individuals in the film.
Absolutely.
In the film.
Well, basically, Andrew and my friends at NJS4E, Blood on the Walls, it's almost I would say, a visual reminder club of my life. You know, I mean, there's a lot of history in Black Hollywood. We don't know about that. We see, you know, the E! Channel, True Hollywood Story, or VH1, and so on and so forth. But, you know, I lived a pretty colorful life out there, you know, and it's not all exactly, you know, line for line my life, but it's, you know, a really amplified fictional account of some things. It's about a guy by the name of Cooper Michaels, who is a hot journalist in the 90s, who goes on to take one of his investigative journalism pieces about corrupt cops in Philadelphia and turns it into a series called Filthy, starring Dr. Dre and Corrupt. And the guy becomes a phenomenon, you know. I mean, he's the hottest producer, writer in Hollywood. And within that heat, you know, he kind of implodes, and he implodes with crack. And this is the man who fell to the earth at that point. So after Hollywood forgets about him, Cooper, you know, then he comes back to his roots as a journalist in Baltimore, finds a story, a very intriguing and mystifying and interesting story about a guy by the name of Swiss Williams, this painter who is about to become the next Basquiat, Picasso, Pollock, you know, you fill in the blank of, you know, mythical, modern, legendary painter. And on the eve of his huge show in Chelsea in New York City, he goes up, shoots and kills the art dealer / gallery owner, this mysterious Kwame Pierre-Adot, and then he turns the gun on himself. It's become worldwide news, it's a mystery, and as this guy Cooper Michaels goes in to unravel the mystery, he also puts the pieces together of his broken life. He deserted his sons and his wife, crack overwhelmed him, burnt him out, and so it's always, you know, it's also a story of redemption also. So it's an interesting piece. If you stick with it it has a definite arc to it, and if you stick with it from webisode 1 all the way through webisode 18, there is a payoff.
You know, I had 2 questions. I remember both of them. And the first one is, number 1, when I watched the film, sometimes I wondered how much of it was really acting and how much of it was like a documentary.
I get it's a drama-mentary. you know, not a docudrama. I never smoked crack. I did use drugs in the early 80s, but that was way before I made it as a writer. But, you know, everybody has their foibles and their weaknesses, and I got caught up in Hollywood, not with drugs, but with the scene itself, you know, and everybody has their, you know, choose your poison, so to speak. And I'll leave that for the book that I'm going to write, an essay, a collection of essays called "The Day New Jack City Burned to the Ground." That's sometime in '08.
Oh, wow.
But for right now, you can watch the film, and then you can kind of fill in the blanks if you want to. So it's not me, like I said, exactly line for line, but it's like a real fictionalized account of a life that I did lead at one time.
The thing I was getting at, thank you for that, is that it felt like, though, like for example, when Michael Wright was talking to you, or let's say the gentleman, the psychiatrist or the therapist is like, are they acting?
Played by Jeff Redd.
That was Jeff Redd?
Yeah, that was Jeff Redd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
so that was
great actor,
that was
too.
convincing.
Yeah.
That was convincing.
Yeah.
I noticed Omar, he's a singer who's very loved in the UK.
Oh, man.
Can you talk about
my choice for Omar? I've been digging Omar's music for a while. In a lot of ways, Omar is like an extension of Teddy Riley, but he's like jazzier, and they call him the father of neo soul, you know. So he is the genesis for Maxwell. He is the genesis for D'Angelo. As a matter of fact, they really had their careers ignited in the United States around the same time. Brown Sugar, and I think For You, I forgot the name of the Omar album, but D'Angelo got more of a push. But look, Omar is a classic songwriter, brilliant composer, and just he has that vibe. I mean, some of his music almost sounds like New Jack Swing, and so it's like a continuation of the things that Teddy was doing, or Kyle West was doing, with the melodies and orchestrations and the bigness of the sound that really fills and projects this piece, you know, and gives it a dramatic lift. So I just love his music. Been a fan of his for, you know, over 10 years. I think the international audience is just going to just fall in love with you after hearing that. Last question. Okay. Could you talk a little bit about the upcoming Andre Harrell biography? Oh, man. Let me tell you about Andre Harrell. Andre Harrell, believe it or not, in terms of, I would say two people are very crucial to the resurgence of this movement. One of those persons is filming me right now, Andrew Knyte. The other one would be Andre Harrell, because the whole movement of New Jack Swing is not just music, it's not just fashion, it's a lifestyle, it's a thought. It comes from somewhere, you know, it comes from a time where, you know, blacks and whites wanted to live not only the good life, but feel good about themselves. So Andre is really, you know, the catalyst for that, you know, because he always wanted to dress well, he always wanted to speak well, he always wanted to live the good life, but, you know, do it in terms of, you know, being an upwardly mobile person, you know, and not in a condescending manner, you know, in a manner that says it's inclusive. It's almost like Martin Luther King, it's almost like JFK, you know, it's like I have a dream, you know, ask not. You know, it's that age of daring to believe in the dream, and that's basically what his book is about. The title probably will change, but it's called Notes on a Revolution, you know, the road to New America. And this guy is just, you gotta read it, he's a phenomenal person. There was an excerpt on another blog. Andre and I have been talking about doing an exclusive excerpt on NJS4E, and even, you know, there will be soon coming an interview that you guys will see with Andre Harrell also. So stay tuned, you know. I mean, this thing is getting ready to really, it's getting ready to get mega, you know. Cover your ears, because it's going to be a big explosion. And thanks to this man right here, Andrew Knyte, he made it happen. Thank you very much, Mr. Cooper. Thank you, sir. Over and out.